Welcome back, book buddies! I am so happy to say that the We Are Book Buddies channel has 5,000 subscribers. That is 5,000 book buddies all reading together, which is amazing. So I thought for a very special video, we could read 5 of our most popular books. We have Peppa Pig, Peppa and Her Golden Boots, Ben and Holly, Honeybees, Hey Dougie, Dougie and the Pirates, and 2 Cocomelon books, Bingo and Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes. Well, let's go! Peppa and Her Golden Boots. It was the day of the big puddle jumping competition. Peppa and her friends were practicing jumping up and down in muddy puddles. Hee hee, hee hee. My daddy always wins, boasted Peppa. He says the first rule of puddle jumping is to wear your boots, and mine are very special because they are made of gold. They're not gold, replied Suzy Sheep. They're yellow. They are not yellow, they are real plastic gold, protested Peppa. Would anyone like some orange juice? Called Mummy Pig from the house. Yes, please, replied everyone. They ran inside, leaving their boots outside the front door. When Peppa and her friends had finished their juice, they headed outside to put on their boots. Oh no, my boots have gone, sobbed Peppa. Mr. Zebra arrived with the post. I've just seen a duck with boots on, he said. Peppa sniffed. Were they gold? No, yellow, he replied. Mrs. Duck came running down the hill wearing Peppa's golden boots. Peppa ran after her. Mrs. Duck, can I have my boots back, please? Quack, quack. But Mrs. Duck did not want to give Peppa's boots back. She didn't stop running until she reached Captain Dog's boat. No one could stop Mrs. Duck. She leapt into the water and swam away. Captain Dog started his engine. I think my boat can go faster than that duck, he exclaimed. But Captain Dog's boat could not keep up with Mrs. Duck. That's a fast duck, he said. Mrs. Duck finally stopped at a little island where Grampy Rabbit had been shipwrecked when his boat capsized. Mrs. Duck has my boots, and she won't give them back, Peppa called. Don't worry, Peppa, replied Grampy Rabbit. Mrs. Duck has nowhere to go. But then Mrs. Duck started to fly, and she was still wearing the boots. Oh no, cried Peppa. Mrs. Duck is flying to the moon with my boots. Don't worry, Peppa, said Grampy Rabbit, pointing to the neighbouring island. We'll take my rocket. I really don't think Peppa's boots will be on the moon, said Mummy Pig. Nonsense, insisted Grampy Rabbit, helping everyone into the rocket. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! On the moon, Peppa and her friends searched everywhere for Mrs. Duck and the golden boots. Let's ask at the shop, suggested Suzy Sheep. You don't get shops on the moon, exclaimed Daddy Pig. Postcards, called Mrs. Rabbit from inside her gift shop. Ice cream, buckets, spades. Meanwhile, Grandpa Pig had spotted Mrs. Duck in his garden. Those aren't your boots, are they? He asked. He quickly dialed Daddy Pig's number. Hello, Grandpa Pig, said Daddy Pig. Yes, Peppa has lost some boots. We'll be right there. Next stop, Grandpa Pig's garden, announced Grampy Rabbit. Peppa bounced excitedly out of the rocket. My boots, my golden boots, she exclaimed. Thank you, Grandpa. Grandpa Pig helped Peppa to put her boots on. Now we can go to the puddle jumping competition, said Mummy Pig. Oh, yes, agreed Daddy Pig. We'd better hurry. The big puddle jumping competition was about to begin. First up, Daddy Pig, cried Mr. Potato. Daddy Pig took a giant leap and made a very big splash. Then it was Mr. Elephant's turn, and Mr. Elephant made an even bigger splash. Mr. Elephant is the winner, announced Mr. Potato. Peppa cleared her throat. Please, can I have a go too? She asked. Oh, of course, replied Mr. Potato. And can all my friends help? Peppa asked. Mr. Elephant was not pleased. Hang on. I don't think that's really... It sounds perfectly fair to me, interrupted Daddy Pig. Peppa and her friends formed a circle and held hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, they all chanted, Jump! Whee! Sploosh! Peppa and her friends made the biggest splash ever. Peppa and her friends are the winners, declared Mr. Potato. I still think, began Mr. Elephant. Hooray! Everyone cheered loudly. Quack, quack. Peppa loved her golden boots. Everyone loved their boots. And everyone loved the big puddle jumping competition. That's the end of book 1. Let's read our next book. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. One more time, but faster. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Let's read it one more time because it's a very small book. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. One more time, but faster. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, Head, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, Yay, I like that book. Let's read our next book. Dougie and the Pirates. Hey, Dougie. Dougie and the Pirates. Dougie, Tag, Norrie, Happy, Roly, Betty. Dougie and the squirrels are enjoying a fun day at the beach. Dougie's relaxing on a deck chair and the squirrels are building sandcastles. How lovely. Suddenly, an enormous ship slides onto the sand. The squirrels gasp. What a funny place to park. Where did it come from? Dougie and the squirrels climb aboard the ship. It seems to be empty. Hello? Then, when Betty opened the door, 5 penguins and a parrot rolls out. One of the penguins stepped forward. I'm Captain Red Moustache, and this is my crew, he says. Captain Red Moustache and his crew are all sick. They have eaten too much fish ice cream. We are supposed to be heading to this island to pick something up, he says, but now we're too poorly to sail. Treasure? Shh. Dougie and the squirrels offer to sail the penguin ship to the island. Dougie knows all about sailing. He has his sailing badge. First, the squirrels get to know the ship, the steering wheel, the crow's nest, the diving board, and a giant telescope. Suddenly, Happy spots something sailing towards them. It's a fishing boat. Hello? About turn! The fishing boat turns round quickly and chugs away. In fact, no one seems to be very pleased to see the ship. Not the octopus, the shark, the whale, or the clams. How strange! Soon the ship arrives at the island and everyone gets off. Oh, good, says Captain Red Moustache, looking at his map. It's definitely where we left it. Left what? Our medicine, replies Captain Red Moustache. It's going to make us feel much better. Roly helps the penguins dig up a big, heavy box. I love digging. But there isn't any medicine inside. It's treasure. The squirrels think about the penguin's clothes, the parrot, and everyone running away. Now everything makes sense. You're pirates. All right, we are pirates, admits the captain, and we stole this treasure because that's what pirates do. The squirrels tell the pirates to give it all back because that's what squirrels do. The squirrels raise a new flag on the ship. It's time to go sailing again, to return all the treasure. First, they find the fishing boat. Ahoy there! Go on, says Betty. Sorry we stole your goldfish, Captain Fisherman, says Captain Red Moustache. That's okay. Sorry, octopus. Sorry, shark. Sorry, whale. Sorry, clams. Everyone is very happy to get their treasure back. The voyage is over. The pirates drop the squirrels back to shore. I hope you pirates have learnt your lesson, says Norrie. We have, Captain Red Moustache sighs. No more fish ice cream. And no more stealing. Goodbye. The pirates wave goodbye to the squirrels. Haven't the squirrels done well today, Dougie? Ah, woof. They have definitely earned their sailing badges. Now there's just time for one last thing before the squirrels go home. Dougie hug. The end. Let's read our next book. Bingo. Bingo. There was a farmer who had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. There was a farmer who had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. There was a farmer who had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh. N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. There was a farmer who had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh. G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. There was a farmer who had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh. Oh, and Bingo was his name, oh. There was a farmer who had a dog, and Bingo was his name, oh. And Bingo was his name, oh. There was a farmer who had a dog, and Bingo was his name, oh. B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name, oh. That's another good one, yay! Let's read our last book. Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom, Honeybees. It's a lovely sunny day and everyone is enjoying a picnic on Picnic Hill. Yummy honey sandwiches. My favourite, says King Thistle. Suddenly they hear a noise. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Bees! Buzz off, go away, says King Thistle, as the bees buzz around him. I don't like bees. You don't like bees? asked Ben. But bees made the honey in your sandwiches. Really? says King Thistle. How do they do that? Bees eat nectar from flowers, then turn it into honey in their hive, says Mr. Elf. Ben and Holly want to visit a beehive. Good idea, says King Thistle. I like honey. You can bring me back a nice fresh jar. Buzz, buzz, slurp, slurp, buzz, 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 burp. Ben, Holly, Nanny, Plum, and Mr. Elf go to the beehive. The queen bee arrives with all her bees. Bees always follow the queen, says the wise old elf. He is the beekeeper, which is a very important job. We have come to get a jar of honey for King Thistle, Nanny Plum tells the wise old elf. Getting honey is very dangerous, says the wise old elf. The hive is full of thousands of bees, and every one of them has a stinger. But not to worry, I have a plan, a calm, safe, and sensible plan. The wise old elf's plan is to dress up as a bee. We will send the bees to sleep. Then Mr. Elf will lower me into the beehive to collect the honey. If the bees wake up, they will think I'm a bee, so they won't sting me. It sounds like a silly plan to me, says Nanny Plum. Nanny Plum uses a spell to put the bees to sleep. Then Mrs. Elf lowers the wise old elf into the hive. Down a bit, left a bit, right a bit. The wise old elf collects a jar of sweet, runny honey. But what's that noise? Buzz, 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 buzz. Oh no, the bees have woken up. Help, get me out of here, shouts the wise old elf. Buzz, 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 buzz. There's lots and lots of bees. The bees chase the wise old elf out of the hive and all the way to Little Castle. They think he's the queen, says Ben. There's a helicopter. Here's your jar of honey, says the wise old elf to King Thistle. What good service, says King Thistle. You're even dressed as a bee. Oh no, now the bees have landed on the little castle. They think it's their new hive. Buzz off, cries King Thistle. Go away, follow that bee. Lift me up, Mrs. Elf, shouts the wise old elf. The bees chase the wise old elf again, all the way back to the hive. Buzz, 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 buzz. The wise old elf takes off his bee costume and drops it into the hive. Look, shouts Holly, the bees are going back inside. Buzz. There you are, a jar of honey, says the wise old elf. I told you my plan was calm, safe, and sensible. Everyone laughs. What's the matter? asks the wise old elf. Haven't you ever seen an elf in his underpants before? Oh, that's so silly. The end. Thank you very much for joining me again today. I really enjoyed reading some of our favourite books again together. Do come back so we can read more books. Please like and subscribe. Bye.